excited to have all of our parents who are viewing us via our YouTube channel afterwards, and we are equally excited to have our parents in the room. Thank you, thank you. I will start with introducing, letting the board introduce themselves. I'll start with myself. My name is Shay Bailey. I am your Parent Council President, and I'm super eager to support all of you all from a parent lens. 3 children in the district, 2 at the park, 1 at Workman, and as I said, super eager to support from a parent perspective. I will turn it over to our recording secretary and then our membership coordinator, and then I'll talk about the openings that we have here on the board.
Thank you, Shay. I'm Annalise Carter, recording secretary, parent of 2 children in the district, one at Salem High School, the other at Magna. Thank you.
I'm Megan Murkowski. I am the membership coordinator for the Parent Council. I have a 2nd grader at Barron Elementary.
Awesome, awesome. So as you see on the agenda, we do have a open position, which is currently our VP position. And we are coming up, it's hard to say, to the wind down of the school year. I can't even believe that we're here. Next week is spring break, so just looking at the timing, we're definitely accepting nominees for parents to join us here on the board, and we'll look at what those positions look like as we get to the end of the year, because in several instances we do have members of the board who express interest in various positions. So with that being said, if you're interested in joining us, we would love to hear from you. And know that it could be the VP or another position that we have here on our committee. We also want to send love to our corresponding secretary. She has a sick child. We all know what that feels like and looks like, so definitely want to send her love. Outside of Parent Council, I want to turn it over to Megan so we can do the school roll call, and then we'll get started with the agenda. Just so you know, there are a couple of adjustments on the agenda. Kimberly May will be joining us at a later date, so she will not be joining us today. We'll actually start with our superintendent, Dr. Monica Merritt, and then we will follow with Stephanie Hayes, as well as our P-CCS community ed leader, Alicia, and then we will go into district updates with our marketing team. So Megan, I'll turn it over to you for roll call, and then we will go straight into our new video I heard, which I'm super excited about, and then I will let our superintendent come in her own way right after the video.
Sure.
Oh wait, we're going to do roll call.
Oh,
So sorry.
Anybody here from Allen, Bentley, Bird, Dodson, Erickson? I'm representing Farrand, Field, Gallimore, Hoban, Halsing, Isbister, Miller, Smith, Tonda, Workman, Discovery, East, Liberty, Pioneer, West, Canton, Plymouth High School, Salem, Starkweather Academy, Virtual Academy K-8, Virtual Academy High School.
Alrighty, thank you. Frank, we will take it over.
When my husband and I were looking to purchase our first house, one of the biggest factors we looked into was a school district that was highly rated, and we felt that Plymouth Canton Community Schools fit that bill.
Being a part of the district has really helped my children excel socially. They started early on to develop friendships with students from various backgrounds, various cultures, and just really starting to embrace and bring that into who they are as citizens of the world.
We're definitely preparing students for life.
What makes P-CCS special is we provide a world-class education. We have high-quality curriculum and instruction. We have an amazing staff that is student-centered and coursework that really prepares our students for the world beyond P-CCS.
I think that the elementary level is where you set the foundation. You get to learn through play, you get to spark kids' excitement for learning.
We know that we can't teach academics until we address social emotional needs for students. This includes relationship building skills, social awareness, knowing that what you're learning is relevant to your life.
My passion for teaching is when I watch and witness young people grow. And definitely the middle school level, because they are growing adults. They may be silly and immature at one point, but then like that light bulb goes off. And that kind of warms my soul daily.
So one of the things our district is trying to do is to create these lifelong learners that can go about the world and hopefully make it a better place.
So the learner profile has 6 characteristics that every student will have when they leave P-CCS. So these are things that every student will work on through their education journey, PK through 12.
We promise that these children will be highly educated and ready to enter the world, be that college or the workforce or even armed services.
We don't know the jobs of the future. We know the skills that students are going to need to have to be successful in the future. And that's where we're focusing our work in innovative practices as well as the P-CCS learner profile. Our students are engaged in innovative experiences throughout their educational career in our schools. From elementary in the innovations classroom to the STEM labs that exist in our middle schools to the career and technical education opportunities that exist in the high schools. All of these are experiences that help students to be career and college ready.
So this is a 6th grade social studies classroom that is doing building thinking classrooms. So they're getting to think about a task or think about something in social studies, work together with their peers, and work through a task until they're getting an answer. And I just find that kids are more engaged in social studies than they've ever been before.
You're teaching students how to persevere through challenges. You're teaching them how to ask questions, but you're also giving them opportunities to collaborate with others and share each other's ideas.
Whatever your interest may be, we have something for you. Whether it's STEM, whether it's IB, whether it's Arts Academy.
They have opportunities for sports. There are over 100 clubs to be involved in. There is a space and a place for every student in P-CCS.
Plymouth Canton schools are dedicated to improving the arts. It's engaging to see how much enrichment we have within the district.
We have our Security Operations Center, which we have people watching and proactively making sure that we're safe.
Within that center, we have 1,600 cameras. We've been able to work with Motorola. We're one of 2 school districts in the nation that we're utilizing their AI and their technology to keep our students safe. I'm really proud of Echo. He's a therapy dog, but he doubles as a weapons detection dog. And when it's time to go to work, Echo is ready to ensure that our students are safe.
When people come here, they stay here. It's not unusual for my children's teacher to have actually been a student of Plymouth Canton Community Schools.
We go above and beyond to make sure that we give children and families the best education that they could possibly have.
I'm really excited for all the opportunities my kids are going to receive in the next steps of their education. They are going to be offered so many opportunities that I never had as a kid, and I cannot wait to see what they pick and where their journey takes them.
We truly educate the whole child here at P-CCS and give each of our students the opportunity to learn, prepare, and thrive.
All right, well, I think that is wonderful, and I want to just give a shout out to Frank and his team. Curly, Tacey is in here as well, I believe. Just did a phenomenal job with this video. We started our first YPCCS video, I believe it was in 2016, and we thought after all this time, it was time for a refresh. We continue to take the feedback that we hear in parent council and just like parent coffees at board meetings to say, we have so many wonderful things happening in P-CCS. How do we continue to market that for our families that choose to stay with us, as well as potential families that can join us in the future? So we thought, what a great time to refresh that. We have our own President Bailey that was there as our parent representative, did a fine job, and I'm just really proud of that work. In addition to the video, Mr. Brugerello and team, they've been working over a year to launch the new website, which has really just been amazing. And that's another piece of feedback that we had received from our families, that our website was just so complicated to navigate. We actually did a refresh quite a few years ago, and even with the refresh, it was still not as user-friendly as we would have liked. So I'm really, really proud of that. I know everybody knows I'm a little bit more challenged with technology, and I can find my way through the website. So I think that that's a great thing, and that was not an easy task. Their launch, we were worried that was a midwinter break, but really didn't have a lot of hiccups. We're still asking families, if you go to sites and you find some places that are not working, that we contact the team. So just wanted to take the time to just shout out to our marketing department for that work. Frank's not looking up because he doesn't like compliments, but job well done, sir. I appreciate you. Yes. And speaking of marketing, it is definitely enrollment season. So this is that time of year, as you shared, President Bailey, that we can't believe the school year is coming to an end, but we're looking to the school year ahead, and we're starting our staffing discussions. So it's very important for us to know in advance our families that are staying as well as those that are coming. When we think about our newest and our youngest learners, this is that time for kindergarten. We just had a kindergarten information meeting. There's going to be an orientation on May the 13th. So you'll begin to see some push in our social media and on our website, just inviting parents to get in. It's important, I believe, to get in and enroll early, so your young student has an opportunity to, if they're a first-time student to P-CCS, get in and visit their schools. If they are a returning family, also just knowing where it is that you are going to land. So we just encourage our parents to do that. When I think about marketing connected to enrollment, I do have an ask of this group. As I said, some of the feedback that we have received in the past that we've tried to be responsive to with the video, with the magazine, with the website, is that we are large as a district, and it's often hard unless you're tied in to watching videos or coming to the meetings to even know what it is that we offer for our families here in the district. And so I would like even further ideas on how can we continue to market and share, because I do believe in this district 10 toes down, that we provide an amazing educational experience and opportunities for students. We meet students where they are and try to leave no ceiling for where they can be or become. And if we don't have programs or supports, we are open to listen to how we can continue really on that path to continuous improvement, to reinvent or offer programs and services that our families believe that our students deserve. And so I need your feedback. And I was thinking, like, what could be a way? Is it possible maybe at your individual PTO meetings to bring this topic up and maybe bring back some feedback to our next meeting, or maybe some ways that you can think about? But again, is it somebody talk? I had coffee, parent, what is it? I'm going to say parent with Monica. Coffee with Monica earlier this week. It's been a busy week. And just getting some feedback there about possibly doing stay interviews. We do exit interviews when families leave, but maybe taking an effort to talk to families about why you stay. So anyway, I'm wide open. I believe in us. We are in a place with enrollment. That's not a P-CCS thing. There are just less students being born in the state of Michigan. And so when we look at our budget, we're also going into budget season. I talked about staffing. All of that ties together. And so just really wanted to get that feedback from families and think of ways that we can do. How do we continue to expose all of the things that we offer or share so that parents are aware, and how do we even reinvent and do better by the work that we're doing. So that's going to be an ask that I have here. When I talk about budget season, we did have a community survey to open up to get feedback. Every year, I think it's just a busy time of year. I think we only got 28 responses, which was great. We love every response, but when we think about 16,000 students, I know that there are more thoughts in our families' minds of things that we can do. When we look at our budget, we are tightening, of course. As we know, we had our ESSER funds for many years, and we were able to utilize that to support the unfinished learning of students during COVID, but that at September of this year. I believe all COVID funds are now supposed to be spent. And so as we look to our budget, we continue to streamline staffing based on enrollment. That's something that we do each year. But we look through a lens of how we can continue to maintain programs that we have, offer new programs, but do it in a cost-efficient and effective way. And so it's so important for us, again, to hear from our families in that, to say, hey, this program is really, really working, we'd like to see more of that, or this is a place where we're really failing and we need to put some more attention. Because that's really around aligning the financial resources that we have to support our strategic plan and really the work and the vision as we move forward. So with that being, you'll hear from us at board meetings, just updates on the progress of that. What are things that we know, which is hard when you're building a budget. You have to wait on the state to say, what is your foundation allowance? What are your different categoricals? When we look at our enrollment, we have to make projections to think of how many students we think that we're going to have and have our staffing aligned to that. So this is the season that we're going through. Although the budget survey closed, still if you have ideas, just feel free to email us at any time, because we definitely will be going, or come to board meetings, we'll be going through that process of really building what that budget looks like for 25-26. The final piece I just wanted to share, and then I'll open it up for questions. I think it's always important to just continue to talk about the accolades. I think social media can be our friend and can be our foe, because it gets out there and sometimes there's so much information that's out there that's not always accurate. So we always try to turn people back to our official channels to get that accurate information. And sometimes I think that information overshadows the positive that is happening. And I do just kind of want to always take an opportunity to brag on our kids and their accomplishments. I'm working on a letter right now that'll go out to the community as we prepare for spring break. Woo-hoo, glad it's coming. Just thinking of some of the things that our students are doing. Right now we have 22 finalists for the National Merit Finalists, and that is the largest number that I've known since I've been here. We had 37 semi-finalists in 2023, but these are actual merit finalists. And that really, although these are high school students, I think that you attribute that to that journey from pre-K to 12 that allows them to succeed in that manner. We have our robotics team. They just competed this weekend, and they run one districts. And you know that each year, I'm just amazed at how that robot continues to get better and stronger and more innovative. And that I want to, as we talk to families, even at the coffee, how do we expand those programs to our elementary schools? We don't have them in each elementary school, and a lot of times it's program driven by parents, because you have a parent that will come in and really help to gather students, but we maybe need to work to get some more school or staff support, because it's such a great program for kids. The culinary program, they won the state championship a couple weeks ago. Amazing, the food, if you haven't had a chance. I think this group, we actually went to the Rock Cafe, so you taste it, experienced it. The students are amazing and their future looks very bright. And so I'll just showcase a few of those things that are going on, but it's a story. I mean, I would write a dissertation if I wrote everything that happens each year with our young people and our staff. And so I am thankful and I am grateful to be a part of such an amazing school district, and I want to continue to work alongside you as parents to make it even better, because we always have room for improvement. So with that, I'd like to just address any questions that you may have or suggestions that you may have.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
When you're asking for feedback about how we're learning about programs offered,
Yes.
Is there a place that I can go that would show me programs that are offered at the elementary level? Because I can't, I was just sitting here thinking, like, I can't think of anything that's really offered other than like the community ed items, which we love at our school. We love hosting them. A lot of our families love that.
Yes.
But I just didn't know if there was a spot, so I don't want to take up everyone's time, where I can see where those are, so that I can take them back to our school.
So it's such a great question. It has me thinking, and we'll have, before you leave, we'll put in hand like a booklet. So when we go, we just have like realtors breakfast, and we have elementary, middle, high school, what are our programs? We have a booklet, but how do families access those, right? Mm-hmm. If you're not coming to one of those events. So I am thinking two things, like, hey, I wonder, could we build out something more on our website that would be a digital version? You listening, Frank?
I am.
I'll get some notes. Maybe like a digital version of that, or can we deliver some of that material to our schools to sit out? Maybe that could be helpful. So the answer is, I think in a comprehensive manner, we can do a better job at doing that, and you just kind of sparked a light. Yeah, but we'll put something in your hand today. We can give you everybody the elementary, middle, and high school program.
I'll
Let's
take
go
it.
look at the full.
Great.
But that's good.
In years past, didn't we have robocalls reminding us about the budget survey? And like, it's closing in a couple days, make sure you get your things in. Did we stop doing the robocalls?
Did Frank? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
We've not done robocalls on that.
No,
I think we did.
Not
I think
on
It
that.
was a long time ago.
Yeah,
but
maybe a
we might
long
have,
time, but the
yeah.
last several years we've not. We've done
Yeah.
exactly
And the
same.
reason that we might have moved away, we started getting feedback that we were over.
Yeah, we did get quite a few for a couple years.
Some
Yeah,
people
it was
said
a
that
lot.
we hang it up because we don't want to listen, and then we miss information. So then we moved to the text feature.
Yeah, but
that would be helpful.
Yeah, there wasn't even any
Yeah,
text
so I
on
think
it.
this one we try to just go with the push on social media.
Social media website.
And because initially we
And
didn't.
newsletters.
Yeah.
Social media?
Oh, yeah. Yes, it was.
So I will
several
tell
times.
you.
And we put it in the school newsletters as well. That's really the place where we push the most.
Oh,
Yeah.
so our Friday newsletter is probably all the way to the bottom.
Probably going down to the
So I
bottom.
don't see
But
it.
even I think when, probably back when we were doing robocalls, the feedback we got, I think our largest since I've been is for like 38, you know what I mean? It's really, and so I think it's just, maybe it's the time of year, it's so busy, I don't know what it is, but it's definitely something and we usually, I will tell you, every single year, I'm going to my 10th year, we've had feedback to get a covered walkway at PSEP, and this is the first year that wouldn't. So I thought, well, maybe people haven't reached that, because what is that one person always tells us? We need a heated walkway or a covered walkway. Yeah, but it's still, we definitely still need to explore the how, what is the most effective way to generate that.
Because we do, if it's coming directly from our individual school, we get a lot of those. And those are, my son doesn't know a lot of stuff, so a lot of those don't apply to me. But if it was coming directly from the district, it's something that I'm going to pay a little more attention to, like getting your PR things that go out, stuff like that. It might grab my attention a little bit more, especially if it's late at night or early in the morning, because then I'm going to think school's closing, and I'm so going to
You're still looking at it.
Yeah.
Maybe I should start with snow day information.
So it's an interesting question, if you don't mind me jumping in here.
Yeah.
So we've been, Monica, you know this because we're talking about this, so we wouldn't start this till next year, but the question is, here's what happens, here's what we see, and here's what we're hearing from our schools. When we send a robocall, most people don't answer their phone, and then they realize they missed a message from the school, and we get inundated with phone calls. I missed your message, what's going on? So we actually were kind of toying with the idea, we haven't made any decisions, we're toying with the idea of going only to text messages.
Love that.
Does that make sense for everybody?
Yes.
So, we can wait till everyone says uncle, but we can message more on texting. We've always just tried to be respectful of it because we know that when a lot of people get the messages from us one way or the other, they get nervous, like something's going on.
Right, oh yeah, my kids in the
So we're real careful about what we message because we know that. But I've been asking at other school districts, and they all say the same thing, but nobody has the courage to eliminate the robocalls. What it is. But we wouldn't do that. We'd start at the beginning of the school year and we'd try to tell everybody. But if you're telling me that you don't mind getting the text messages, that would help us for a lot of things.
The only problem would be if someone doesn't get texts on their phones. That's going to be the issue there, because not everyone has that.
And not everybody, we heard for a long time that not everyone had cell phones either. And I assume everybody has one now.
It's changing.
But people don't seem to have landlines. So, how do you, you try to reach the majority of people?
Exactly. Now, I do know that some places, businesses, but this is a business, do sometimes have automated lines that they use. So when they would call into the number, it is just specifically that message that went out. So it would be something to look into.
We could probably use that in our system, re-report a line, but they have to call that line.
They would have, you would have to put that number in the message, or put it on the website. If you've missed a call, call this number. Yeah. But it's something, an exploration.
I do like that too, because even though I don't feel like I'm ever charged for a text message, you always have to agree to the charges. So I don't know if that would ever come up for someone. I'm a full fan of just send me the text message, because that's how our world, is moving right now. So I think it would be lock and step with the way that we live our lives. So
it seems to be. We seem to be getting to that point. Where we were, what we've been thinking. We talked about it a couple of times, Monica, in our meetings, because we meet on Mondays. And I'm, but if we do it, we'd start at the beginning of the year, we try to let everyone know. I don't hear too much about people getting charged for text anymore. It seems like everyone's got a plan. But again,
But we
have
also,
something
with
was looking at-
text though, they're opt-in, so we wouldn't know, because if that's our only, that's my
Right.
thing that makes me nervous, the only way.
Right.
So,
And
but maybe
now-
it's like, we only use robocalls
Getting
for emergencies or snow days or something, and then regular information could come in that manner or something.
So it's what we're always trying to find a better way
Yeah.
to communicate. Again, we don't want to alarm anybody either, so
Oh, no.
it's interesting, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Shame
But
on
you know,
you.
like, when you see how, like, even my own anxiety, because I'm old, right? Old school is like, don't give her the phone. But if nobody's answering it, you gotta learn how to think.
But I do like that automated.
You gotta learn how to that phone call.
But it's an interesting point.
Yeah, it
We've
is.
always, with the survey, back to the budget survey, we've always gotten about the same amount.
That's what I
We got
said.
about
But
the
no,
same
we
amount
only
this
got
year,
20
too.
something. We used to
Yeah.
get in the 30s.
We had about 26, 27 this year, and I think we had 30 some the following year, so the year before, but it just depends.
Yeah. Singing telegrams, something like that.
You don't want me singing it.
I need to go around the community on a horse and buggy.
I didn't open it this year, but I feel like I did it last year, and it felt intimidating. To me personally, it just felt kind of overwhelming because this is such a big district, and like I obviously want my kids to have whatever when they're in high school, but it seems intimidating. It's a lot of questions. I feel like you have to really be informed, and so that was part of the reason I didn't fill it out this year. It's just like I am not informed enough to do this, so
Makes sense.
just something to think about.
Questions,
Yeah.
I just realized you have your hair up. She was in the video too.
Yeah. When you said you were playing the video, I was like, oh gosh.
Okay.
What
You
did
were
they
great.
think,
You were
You did an excellent job. I didn't either.
So
Let
you
me
can
just tell
relate
you
to
guys,
me.
let
I
me
didn't
tell you
watch
this.
it for a very long time. I was
Oh my
terrified.
I
god.
didn't know it released until I started getting text messages.
Like, you did great. You did great.
Well, here's
Oh
the
my
thing,
God.
I want you to know this. We interviewed a lot of people, and the company that we hired is really good, and they're local here in Plymouth. And he said, are there ones you want to do? They said, no, I want you to pick the best ones.
Oh, wow.
I want you to
That's
pick
good
the
to
best messages.
Yes.
Took 2
So
hours.
you
to
got
get
picked
lines.
because they thought you were the
Sure.
best, so just saying.
Yes, yes.
High
that's
five
real.
to us.
Yes. Awesome.
Alrighty, do we have any other questions for our superintendent? I know she will need to leave us a little earlier today, so we did move her to the top of the agenda, but if you have a question, feel free.
I will hang out until I have to leave.
Awesome. I do want to highlight, Dr. Merritt, the robotics team did go into Workman Middle School this week, or maybe it was last week. Look at me, I'm like, what day is it? But it was this week, thank you. So it was amazing because my daughter came home like raving about it. So even, I know when you say introduce it at an earlier stage in their journey, even just them coming into the school and showing the kids what they do seems to be beneficial because it created this curiosity. She was very, and she's a third grader. She was very intrigued with the fact that these kids go to school with her big sisters. Like, wait, what? They're students. They go to school with my sisters. So just sparking that interest early. If we can't get to a place where we have staffing, just having them visit the schools, I think, is a great cause. So I just wanted to call that out. And then, just in case I forget to mention, or if you have to leave early, talking about supporting the kids at the Rock Cafe. When we do our bond tour, we will go and eat in the Rock Cafe again this year. So we'll talk about it a little bit more later in the agenda. But if that's something that you would like to experience, these kids are absolutely phenomenal. The work they do, how they make all these things from scratch, and the passion behind it is just something that's really unique to experience. So that is something that we've committed to including on the bond tour. This will be our 3rd year in a row, so we will go to the Rock Cafe again this year.
Can I just touch really quickly at this with the robotics as well? We've partnered with Lightning Robotics for the past 2 years at Farron to have them at our spring picnic, doing things for the kids. We've had a lot of interest. We don't have a parent that's particularly able to give the time to start something at Farron, but we have reached out to the other elementary schools that have lightning or robotics programs. They're full and are no longer can't accept other kids. But we do have children interested. Is there a way that we can help to maybe build some more elementary school programs where maybe it's
So-
sharing between two schools?
We
or-
actually have, so Alicia, sorry I'm outing you here. Alicia's an employee here, but she's also one of the most active people in our robotics program at the high school. You said there's a meeting coming up?
Yeah, well, I know that the student leadership was gonna present at the board meeting
Yes.
several weeks back, but that had gotten moved out. So they wanted to address some of that in the upcoming meeting to the board to say, you know, we are a high school team, we have our own objectives to try to, you know, to meet. As our team, we wanna support the umbrella, per se, of the younger kids, because it really is a feeder program into the middle school and then the high school. So there are opportunities at that as early as preschool in the first robotics program. So they wanted to present that information and say that we need a little bit of support, because while we are big in numbers as far as our participation levels go, we need support at the building level somehow, right? And so they have a presentation to put together. Hopefully they'll be able to get that out there, but I do think it warrants a meeting, because there is a lot of interest, and the more they take time to do these community outreach events and share what they do, or even share with families that this program is available at the younger level, it's a lot of work to orchestrate forming teams. And so, so yeah, I definitely think it's something that needs to be a continued conversation, because it's growing, and we just need to figure out how to best support it.
And anytime I'm hearing we have student interest, and we just need to help, we gotta figure out a way to make that happen.
I was just gonna say, we're at Dotson, we have one, and I know, I think maybe some parents just don't know that that's an option, that like, hey, there's a Lego robotics team, and you know, we could have this, but we don't have anyone to run it. I'm sure if there was something out there that like parents just might not know that this is an option, and we just need parents to run it. I know, you know, that's what happened with our school, and parents, you know, they kind of, you know, took over, and you know, we're able to still have it this year.
I was gonna say.
Yeah,
my
our kids are on
done
it, yeah.
My daughter's done Lego robotics
Yeah.
for 3 years, 2
Yes.
years at Dotson and now at Gallimore. And the parent who started it at
Yeah.
Dotson was a parent of a former
Former
Dotson
Dotson
student. So
student.
it was a middle school parent
Yeah.
who took it on. So even reaching out to your feeder middle school and seeing
Yeah.
if there are parents on that robotics
I
team.
think when you
like-
talk to parents about it too, to the point, it is very intimidating as well.
Yeah.
Because I've gone through all of the meetings and things like that, I can't put anything else on my plate.
Yeah.
But for having parents that don't quite understand maybe, so I think the meeting idea is great, so that if there is interest, they can hear exactly what's needed,
Yeah.
exactly what they need to do, you know, the time commitment, and then there is cost associated with it, so I think that piece of it
Which
as
you
well.
can get grants for too. I know,
Yeah.
that I think you can.
Yes.
I think you can, yeah,
So I think the
okay.
meeting would be a really good thing to kind of bring everybody together, so that interested in starting it, and then maybe that could group elementary schools together as well. If Bird, Farron, Smith, some, you know,
Glad you're
wanted to
here.
get together.
That's a great idea.
Perfect, I mentioned it.
Also share what's
That's why we
happening
voted.
as well.
Yeah.
Alrighty, awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Merritt. Just that you continue to carve this time out on your calendar to be here with us. We are always super appreciative. So thank you, and yes, just offering our thank you and appreciation to you.
Appreciate you.
Alrighty, so let's move on with the agenda. We have our Executive Director for Special Education here. We are super excited to have you. We had a chance to chat a little bit at the Realtor Breakfast, so you were like, I'll see you at the next meeting. I was like, yeah, you are on our agenda. We have had so many parents that have interest in the programs that we have via our special education department.
Sorry,
So the fact that we have you here, welcome. We will turn it over to you. We're excited to see your presentation, and then open it up to parents for Q&A afterwards.
For sure. Thank you so much for having me. And yes, it was nice meeting you previously and now formally here as well. I'm probably going to be repeating a little bit for a few of our folks, because as you're in your first year in a district, you tend to do all your hellos, this is who I am, etc. And you do that for multiple groups so that you get out there and share, you know, the message and who you are, and everyone's been so welcoming. So if this is a repeat slide for a couple of you, sorry. So again, I'm Stephanie Hayes. I wanted to give just a little bit of a background about me so you get to know me as a human being first. because as we all know, we are human beings with jobs and very important things that we do, families, parents, sisters, brothers, etc. I have a background in special education from the U of D, as well as Wayne State with my ed specialist in special education. My family, of course, has been a driving force for me and my support throughout my time here. So that's a group at the Tiki Bar in my sister's home on the west side that I get to frequent, which I appreciate. Just saying, it was just a Tiki Bar by the pool. It wasn't like I was in Cancun at the time. Experiences, you know, this also is what really builds I think my background and my lens that I come with. I have been a director for 12 years for special education with different titles like director, executive director, student services, special ed, all the same role. I also was a building principal for a couple years. That was a great lens to have. Bye, Dr. Merritt. Also worked as an ASD and autism spectrum disorder supervisor for special education in multiple places, as well as behavior specialist back when I first started in 2000. So I've been doing this work for 25 years, and I'm super excited to be here with you. So just a little bit about me. Also, I experienced this at the board meeting the other day, the delay thing. So I'm going to try one more time.
Because it's this.
I know, it's probably just me.
I advanced it for you.
Okay, Frank, I'm going to stop because I just hit it again.
That's the right one, right?
Yeah, that's great.
Cool.
No, that's perfect. Thank you.
Just tell me.
No, it's perfect. So this is a little bit about my why. Many of the pictures you see there are either children that have impacted my life previously and ongoing. The staff that I've interacted with, the families and the supervisors I've interacted with, and the far right is the group that I'm currently working with that hasn't been updated to the current slide that I'll show you for the team that I work with here. Some of the pictures are individual students that have impacted my life by their gifts that they bring with for being a student with a disability that, you know, involve lots of passion, love, and commitment to their needs and their family. And so I wanted to make sure I highlighted, I always go back to the kids, and that will always be my kind of central place to refocus, because it's very easy to, lose that when there's so many challenges or so many things that come up. So I keep the pictures of those to help me stay in happy land with kids. Moving a little bit on, so this is my administrative team for special education. We have it broken down right now, just so you know that there is people can be reached, and supervisors and our director of diversity, equity, inclusion, and compliance can all be reached at these different levels, so that if there is something special ed specific at a building, there is a human being as a supervisor that works with me, so we're all extensions of each other, as well as a lot of special education staff in our buildings to support our students with disabilities. So these are the list of individuals at the different levels. So Karen at elementary, Clayton at high school, Chandra at middle, Kitty at early childhood, our 0 to 5 programming, Christopher Camilleri, so he's doing now, and he's our newest hire. He is supervising our program for students with autism in our Act 18 programming, so that's the county program. And then Katie, who happens to be sitting here today. So she's helping us along the way with compliance and DEI as well. We can't do anything without our administrative staff, our administrative assistants, so I just wanted to make sure that they were also recognized and that you can see that we're quite a large department. It isn't like one building. We are literally across the district in every place that you look. So it's spread very vast, and in P-CCS we're huge anyway. So there's individuals that take care of the administrative support that we all need, as well as very important data reporting, in terms of the state and the federal government, and pupil accounting pieces for funding. So a lot of particulars that go into the background of every day for our special ed department. So just a little bit in terms of where we've been since August, since I got here. I can't really go backwards, but I can go forwards from August and just share with you a little of what we've been working on. So of course, relationships is the key. I think that there's been so many great people in this role, you know, and in the special ed lens or special ed world that have contributed to the relationships in the buildings and then with our students. I try and would love to be in the buildings with the students as much as I can, but it is something that I've had to find ways to do so that I can get my fix of little ones and get some kid stories, because they're so important to keeping all of us focused on our work. So the supervisors tend to get a little bit more time in the buildings, but are spread across the district as well. And then our staff are, again, extensions of us in our work. So that relationship and building that with my department, which right now is probably at about a couple hundred professional staff, a couple hundred paraprofessional staff. So we're quite large. So I'm trying to get out to all of those people to make sure that they have the attention, the support, and the relationship with me and our supervisors. So that's one piece. That's just my department. That's not even getting to meet and work with all the principals and our families and, you know, the general education staff that are working with our kids every day, right? So it's a big thing, and it's an ongoing thing. Relationships don't just start one day because you get hired and then they stop. So extending myself and trying to be available, which I'm trying to get across the board here in 1 year. And I have to remind myself, you're one person and you can't probably get to everyone this year, but it's a goal for me, right, for the future year too. As you know, and you may be hearing across the board, retention and recruitment for all educators across the nation is an issue that we're all experiencing. So staffing in terms of retaining our current staff that are amazing. We have, you know, like I said, a couple hundred staff, give or take, that we really want to maintain and make sure that they get the time, attention, okay, a little money, right? And those kind of things that help keep our staff happy, because this work is so extremely hard. And we appreciate the work that we do with our families. But it is, again, it's a challenging time if you are, you know, in times where you need positions to be filled and you're trying to find the very best person, because I don't want to settle for less. Also recruitment, right? So working with our county, working with our universities, working with our HR department, finance, etc. So really trying to be the place people want to come to and feel welcome. And hopefully some word of mouth. Since I've been doing this a little bit, I might be able to pull a couple people from past places, just saying. And right now it's just a time where everybody is doing a lot of that, which we wouldn't have been doing about 10 years ago, to tell you the truth. It was kind of like you don't do that. You don't take somebody's teacher in the middle of the year. Now people are literally up and going at any given time, and it's very challenging. So we're really trying to make sure we're trying to keep our great staff and also bring on wonderful staff as well. Department alignment, so that is tied to, I think, there's been some inconsistencies over the past few years that maybe have led staff to feel unsure about some things, and like what to do at this situation, what to do at this level, how are we processing this. So I want to, and I've been trying to work with our supervisors on helping have that alignment from level to level, as well as within programming. So it is a very large district, as we all know, and being that there's a lot of people in a lot of spaces, getting them together isn't always really super easy with professional development time and contracts and, you know, building initiatives. So selfishly, I try to pull my staff whenever I can to get with our supervisors and our OTs or our speech paths, so that we can have some of that time to build alignment and consistencies, and that way we feel confident and competent working with our kids and our families. One of the kind of big next initiatives, I guess you would say, that really isn't an initiative, it is the law, is called, you might have heard LRE, it's called Least Restrictive Environment. That's a big topic across the state again, across the federal government. And when I say again, it's because I've been doing this a little while, and sometimes it peeks its head up a little bit more than others. And what this really means is making sure that we're ensuring as an agency, meaning the school district, to ensure that our students with disabilities are appropriately placed and educated with children who are non-disabled and accessing the gen ed curriculum, right? So making sure we're looking at the very least restrictive programming first, and then data collection, lots of work, lots of time if needed to meet those needs, right? So I also shared this at the board meeting that the IDEA, which is our Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, which is the federal law, uses the term public agency. So what I wanted to kind of emphasize for the board and for all of us is that includes everyone. That includes everyone in this space, because we have responsibilities to all of our students. So the board members, teachers, general ed, special ed, all of us have a responsibility to support and to ensure that all of our students have access to what's called the least restrictive environment. I won't get too far into the weeds because I can talk about this probably for days and days, and you know, that's just what I do. Sorry. So this is, I think, just a good visual. And on the left-hand side at the very bottom, it says least, and the arrow goes up on the left-hand side, and it's that dark green. It just shows you the continuum of services and programs that special education is responsible to support as a public agency. When I say that, it means, again, all of us. So we're talking about at the very bottom, for example, general education. At the very top might be your most restrictive programming, which at this point, is typically looking at your homebound, home-based student, right? That is not able to be in the environment with students that are their same age peers and getting that curriculum the same way, right? So just a visual for you to have, and that's a responsibility we have as a department and, again, as an agency. So this is I think one of the last pieces, but it's a very important piece, and something I'm looking very forward to is establishing, again, our Wayne County P-CCS Parent Advisory Committee. And so this committee is specific for families and that do have students with disabilities, and we were able to get 2 individuals to be nominated to be our PAC, what's called our PAC reps, that will support us at Wayne County as well as here in PCCS. I have to put that to the board for approval just last meeting, so I was excited that got approved. It now went to Wayne County RESA for their approval at their board level, and really what this is a connection, right? A connection and a resource and a place and a group that's going to really work with our special ed admin, our teaching staff, whoever we get together and need to be building a family of individuals to support each other, right? And our families know that what they're going through, and a lot of times they feel isolated. So having opportunities to be with other folks who may be experiencing similar things, this is part of our PAC work. And I'm excited to be working with our 2 PAC reps moving forward, because we're going to create our schedule for the full next year of whether we're doing professional development and bringing speakers in, whether we're having a special ed administrator night where I come and spend time, whether we have a fun night, we bring our kids with disabilities and we have them doing a petting zoo thingy over there, but our parents get to go actually and be feeling like they can keep an eye on their kids still, right, for that minute, but also let them connect, right, and be a part of. And that's what we're really trying to do, not only with our kids, but with our families as well. And so that's what the PAC will be doing, and I look forward to that coming up in the near future. Again, some of the roles, some of the functions of that role, I kind of referenced a few of them, but I wanted you to be able to see kind of fully. The key for me is bridging, right? Bridging, facilitating, and being a resource. So I'm going to work with my special ed team with the 2 individuals so that we can reach more people, right? And bring people in and have people be part of a group together and make sure we see what their needs are and try to help fulfill those, right? So if they feel like they need support for resources, well, we have a resource fair coming up in April, as a matter of fact, for mostly transition age, which is our 14 to 26-year-olds, right? Like those kind of things. So disseminating information, being a go-to, working together with us so that we can be better. You know, we're human. We have things we need to work on for sure. We are never going to stop growing. I learn, I continue to learn, even though I've been doing this 25 years. I learn from students, I learn from families, I learn from my staff. And I think we're all learners in this, but the key for me is that we want to continue to make progress because our kids deserve it, and we really need to be better for them. And then, I don't know how I did on time. I did not keep my own time on this one. I'm so sorry.
You're good.
It's right there, but questions I can answer and help.
No, thank you so much, and yes, you were excellent with time, but thank you, thank you. One thing I do want to say out loud and then open up the floor for questions is one thing we're working on with this committee is, you mentioned bridge, is bridging the gap between all of the places that parents show up, right? So, you know, I'm on other committees, my, you know, lovely partners here are on other committees.
Sure.
Just hearing that we'll have representatives on a committee with you, it would be our goal to have some sort of touch point as parent council so that those individuals are almost like grandfathered into some sort of membership with us, right? Where we can talk to them, we can get information from them, have them maybe represent the work you're doing here on this committee. So I would love to have an additional conversation about that offline. Maybe you can join one of our planning meetings so we can sort of look at what we can do there.
Yeah, great. And Mrs. Galena and Mrs. Johnson are brand new to the role with us. So we're doing a planning meeting still coming up, and then really trying to like do the survey and take information in first about what is needed from our group, right? And then the work and the meetings and the schedule for the fall so that we're ready to go. And we'd love to join and have some connection, like you said, so that we can share across all the different parent groups.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
Alrighty, so we'll open the floor. Are there any additional questions from the board or parents in the room?
That means you did great.
I was going to say that.
It's just too much, I know. Trust me, it's a lot.
That is a sign of a stellar presentation. When I tell you we appreciate you, we get so many questions around special ed. We value you being in this role and just all that you shared here today. And I think it starts here, right? We establish that bridge, we work together, even if it's just disseminating information. That's a key. We talked about that earlier here.
For sure.
So we'll definitely be in touch. We're working together moving forward on this. And
sounds good.
Thank you. We welcome you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
We're excited for all the work you're
You're
doing.
welcome. And if, you know, the supervisors or myself are available for any questions, etc., at any of the levels, so that we're accessible. It's on our website, the district website. So, you know, and it does say like what levels that each one, so in case it's an elementary specific, there's contact people, because if you don't feel like you have someone to communicate with, you feel stifled and alone, and we don't want anybody to feel like that, so we're here to help.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks,
everybody. Good to see you. Nice to meet you.
Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you. Okay, so our very own community ed is in the room. Alicia, we also chatted at the Realtor Breakfast, so it's exciting always to have you. I know your programs are beloved throughout our district, so feel free to take over, and then we'll open up the floor for any questions.
Thank you so much. That's so great to hear. Appreciate you having me here, and actually to all the families for their support, because without them, you know, and being in the programs, we wouldn't exist. So thanks everybody who has tried out a class or a camp. So I want to give you a little bit of detail with regards to, you know, the background of the program, why we're here, and what we offer year round. So It is our desire to help the community with presenting different opportunities for both youth and adults to develop, enhance, and just grow from our programs, which are both enrichment-based and recreational, and we hope to get some great social experiences out of it as well. So we will go over really quick the programs that we offer, the types, the seasons that we run when we traditionally enroll for those classes, and how we are throughout the district in all of the different facilities, and the registration process and how people can get to us to enroll in the classes. All right, so we kind of have two different pillars, let's say. We have our foundational programs, which are geared towards both youth and adult. These are weekly offerings, so we have them after school. We do evenings and some weekends for both youth and adults, ranging from arts to athletics. We have a lot of STEM programming, some great fitness opportunities for the older segments, and financial, Medicare, you name it. We try to offer a wide variety for people to enjoy. And in addition to these weekly offerings, we also have our pillar seasonal programs. So the biggest ones that we have are our Community Ed Basketball League, or famously known as CEBL. That goes K through 12, and we have different seasons that we offer that. We have a youth dance program that some people don't know about that actually runs from September to May. It's a weekly program, and we end with a really cool recital in Gloria Logan Auditorium at the end of the school year. We have a stay and play program, which is for 2-year-olds and their parent or caregiver. That takes place from September to May or June at Allen Early Learning, and we actually just opened enrollment for that, so that's up on our website right now. Coming up is our Safety Town program, which has been super popular for incoming kindergartners, with some space for young 5s in first grade as well. Teaching some great fundamentals about safety before they head into the school year, and that's a camp that's offered every summer. And speaking of camps, we have our summer camps and classes, as well as a partnership with P-CCS Athletics to host some really great clinics. Those have actually started to roll out already on our website and are registering. So we have things that have been placed on there and things that will come on the 31st of the month. So a little bit of the numbers, that I won't go into too much detail, but we have hundreds of courses that we offer and thousands of participants a year. We have over 800 players that take place in our, or people that participate in our basketball programming, about 100 dancers, but we're looking to grow the dance program post-COVID, get that back into shape. Stay and Play does have limited space, so those families that might be interested might want to jump on that sooner rather than later to get a space in one of our 5 or 6 different sessions. And then Safety Town, we've expanded to 5 weeks to be able to accommodate up to 300 campers, hopefully this summer. And as far as summer programs go, we're going to have about 100 different offerings this summer that people can join. And our main focus is really just to give them unique experiences, be in the community, offer things in our district buildings, and just allow them to grow connections even over the summer before they jump into the school year. So a quick outline of when we run. We break it into 3 different segments. So for our fall programs, we start registering in August, and we will keep things open all fall. The classes will run September through December when we go off on break. And then once we hit December, we open up for our winter-spring session, including our basketball program that'll be taking place. And those classes will run January through June, so pretty much the whole second term. And then right now we're getting to the point, March, April, where summer programming will open, and we'll run stuff June through August. And so all that information is always updated on our website, on our social media, but it's good for parents to know those timelines. August, December, and April are the key dates that they want to be looking out for if they're looking for the programs being presented on our website. There we go. And so speaking of, being in the facilities, we offer things both indoors and outdoors. We've had the great opportunity to get into some of the new gyms that were just recently built with the bond improvements going on. So that's been great that we've been able to spread out. And that's been especially helpful for our after-school courses, being able to use those gyms, whether it's after school or in the evening as well. We have been working really hard to build that program up again after COVID, get in more schools so that there's opportunities for them to try different classes, maybe something they've never tried before, sport or chess or theater or things of that nature. It's a great opportunity for the things that we offer. We like to view it that it's a way for them to get their foot in the door and decide if they like something before they jump all in, right? So great example with our basketball, you might start off with a basketball skills program, then decide to join a league at a recreational level, and we've heard from kids that have continued to go on, if they're middle school team and even high school teams. So it's just a great segue into their future athletic careers, perhaps. And then our evening and weekend enrichment, we do offer stuff throughout elementary, middle school, and the high school locations. We try to move things around a bit so families have it really close to them locally, and they can be perhaps right down the street from where they live, so it's convenient to be able and try some of these classes after school, evening, and weekend. So as far as finding us, we are on the district page under Department's Community Education. It will give you basic information about the top level programs that we offer, and then it will redirect you to our registration site, which is on LEO. LEO also supports the preschool and the extended day registrations as well. And so it's really user friendly. Parents can get on here, they can search by day, location, or just even topic that they might be looking for, and it'll give them great visuals that they can then see further details about what the class entails, when it takes place, where it's happening, different locations it might be happening at, different times. And then if you do have an LEO login for one of the other programs, such as preschool or extended day, the benefit is it's one login for all three programs. So you just sign in and complete the registration, and you get a confirmation. We also try to, through district communications, whether it's newsletters or all district news, to let people know that we are open enrollment for the upcoming season. But we can also be found at P-CCS ComEd on socials, where we try to give updates as well about classes that might be closing soon, last chance to sign up, or that a certain program is opening. So as far as to kind of echo what Dr. Merritt had said, we always welcome feedback, right? We want to hear from the parents if they've taken a class and they have specific positive or negative feedback about it, or if there are things that aren't being offered that you would like to see offered, whether it's for the youth segment or the adult segment. Love to have that feedback. Would love to have you, working with your PTO groups to perhaps share. We try to join those pages as much as possible to put specific opportunities. So if we're at Farrand for a golf program or at Smith for pickleball, we try to put them on the PTO pages so that they're aware of it. But any communications that you guys are also able to get out there is always helpful for us. Because if we don't reach, unfortunately, a minimum level for some of these classes, then we have to cancel or push them out or try again in a different season. So we just want to be able to make them run for those that are interested. So with that being said, again, thank you for letting me share a little bit about our program, and any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Thank you. I'm so excited you put the social handles. I literally went to my Instagram to make sure I was following. And as a parent, I have to say it's exciting to see that we have this program pipeline built into our school district, if you will. It's easier to find community programs that are just situated in our community, right? So I find that I sign my kids up for X program that is an external program when we offered it right here in our district. So just having you really shine a light on all of the amazing programming, and just talking with you and just hearing all the work that you all do, we appreciate you being here. So we will work to, again, we're looking to build a stronger bridge right? I think that's a common thing we're hearing from the top of this meeting throughout all of
Absolutely.
the presentations. It's just the amount of information and how do we get that information out to parents. So we'll start with your site and your social channels.
Thank you.
And then if there are other ways that we can propose that we have a stronger partnership, we'll definitely reach out and explore some of those ideas with you.
Wonderful, I love that. Thank you so much.
Are there any other questions from the board or parents in the room?
I have more of a comment. I just want to say thank you for expanding the program more. I know for me and a lot of my kids' friends, if it's not at Smith and it's not right after school at that 4:15, we really just can't make it work.
Sure.
And so I appreciate that you're extending them to have more programs at each school, because I have to believe that a lot of parents may feel that way too.
Wonderful.
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, some of you probably, we work together, so this is a department that we work together with. So what I will tell you, and Alicia won't tell you this, is there's only 2 people in this department, okay? And I have to yell at her because she's always working. But they really do bend over backwards. So if there's something you know about at your school that you think will work at a certain time, we'll always consider it. She tries really, really hard. I'm hearing from her at 9 o'clock at night because the doors aren't open, so she's driving across town to open doors. So they work really, really hard there. And honestly, there are lots of choices out there. What we try to tell families a lot of times is, kids are really kind of specialized in sports. When I was young, and I'm an old man here, right? My dad wanted me to play every sport. Try it all, see what you like best. Now kids get real focused on one sport, and they're really into it, and they're doing that at a high level. But sometimes you want to figure out what your student wants to do. This is a great chance to try it without breaking the bank. So they really do try to offer a lot of variety, and they try new things. Sometimes they don't work out, and we don't offer it the next time. So I just encourage you to take advantage of it and call Alicia or Angela if you have ideas or things that you'd like to try out, because they're always willing to do that. So.
Please keep golf.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Honestly, I have a number of departments. I'm totally hands-off. I don't have to worry about it. She's got this covered.
Listen, I heard about her late night drives, unlocking doors at various
It's gotten
schools.
better. It's gotten better. We've tried to really streamline processes, do a lot of improvements, work with different departments, work with the schools. That's one of the benefits, like, as far as security, making sure things are open for families when they get there, or our instructors get there to host the classes. But even working at the school level with wonderful secretaries and paras and principals when we're doing these after-school programs, just so that they know we're there. And even the after-school program, because there's just so much going on after school, whether it's Girl Scouts or Kids Time or Champions, and then us coming into the building. So it's a lot of logistics. So we're trying to build those relationships so that they know we're coming and we're using the proper spaces, and but they fully understand that it's their school community and they have an interest in doing these programs, and so we're just working really hard to develop those relationships and be there for families and offer what they'd like to see.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you again so much.
Yes, thank you. We appreciate you. Alrighty, I will turn it over to our very own Frank for any district updates that Monica did not
Let me get
share.
our agenda back up here, yeah. So one of the things, let me start, Lynn. While I'm trying to get this back up here. Our agenda back up, where is it? Anyway. So let me just say that we had a long-time special education director in the district, Julie Woodhams. Was loved, was wonderful, had been here for a long time. And since Julie left, there's been some transition. I really get a feeling with Stephanie that it's kind of starting to settle back in, and things are starting to nothing against anybody who was here in between, but I feel very good about what I've seen so far with her and her leadership and the folks she's hired and the folks that are in the department. I know we have a couple of parents in the group that have special needs students, but I don't think they're here today. I kind of wish they would be, but I just feel, it's tough. We're a big organization and people come and go and there is transition time, but I feel really comfortable that we're settling in. It's really important. I mean, these are all our kids, and I hope parents feel that. Once a student joins our district, they're our kids and we're going to help them. any way we can. And so, especially in that area, and parents with children that have needs want to make sure that they're taken care of. And we have a feeling that they're our kids. Once they're here, they're ours. And so we're here to help make that all go the right way for you until they're not ours anymore and they're off doing great things. So let me just, there are a couple of things that I wanted to mention after Monica. If I can get my computer fired up again.
Frank, I can talk about the bond tour while you pull.
I got it, I'm good.
Oh, you're good? Okay.
So Monica mentioned culinary arts, and I know she mentioned robotics. I don't think she mentioned that so every year we have, in 11th grade, the kids take the exam for merit scholarships, right? So most years we have somewhere between 15, last year I think we had 37 semifinalists. But when the finalists come around, if we had good years, 6 or 7, we had 22 merit finalists this year. And that is, I mean, there's no way of knowing, but I've been around the district for about 24 years, 23, 24 years. I can't remember, and of course I forget everything, but I really can't remember us having that many. That's really incredible, and it's something really to be celebrated, but it speaks to the entire district, because the vast majority of these kids have been with us for the entire time. And I said this to the elementary principals this week. We had a leaders meeting, actually it was last Thursday. I said, you should all feel proud about that. These are all, you guys brought them all up through the system. If it didn't work at elementary, they wouldn't be there at the high school level. So real excited about that, and that's a real feather in our cap here. We feel really good about it. This one is really kind of cool. We received a $200,000 State of Michigan grant to give our teachers a chance to experience place-based professional learning. So our teachers, our social studies teachers, are going out to a number of museums and places of worship and in the Detroit area and learning all these things because of this grant, and they're bringing all that back to our students. So I can just tell you some of the places they've been. They were recently at the Holocaust Center. They've done the Arab American National Museum, the Islamic Center in Dearborn, Charles Wright Historical Black History Museum in Detroit, African American History, sorry, Henry Ford Museum, Detroit Institute of Arts, the Basilica of St. Anne's in Detroit, and the Gurdwara Singh Sabha, which is here in our community, and a lot of our students attend there, attend that Gurdwara, and the Hindu temple in Canton as well. So it really brings a lot of perspective to the classroom, and this was all brought by a grant from the state of Michigan. So Rania Hamoud is our social studies curriculum coordinator. She might be somebody we want to bring at some point for you to talk to. She's wonderful, was a great teacher here, but really finds these unique opportunities that really bring great things to our students. The last thing I'll mention too, and then I can answer whatever questions you have, is another thing. This happened a couple of weeks ago, and we put a press release out on it, but it doesn't always get it out in front of our parents. We had a couple of students who won an essay contest with the New York Times. They were actually published in the New York Times.
Oh, wow.
So let me tell you their names. Let's see here. Sarah Moore and Dana Sassane are the two students. And they were published in the New York Times. So again, just lots of good things going on in this district. I think we sometimes, Monica kind of alluded to this, we sometimes get kind of caught up in the negative. But we really try to celebrate these things, and there's just always good things going on here. You know, I'm at a point in my career, guys, where I could do whatever I want, honestly. But this, this place feeds me every day. It doesn't just feed my family, but I mean in terms of energy. Yeah, we're tired. We worked 2 days this week, but there's always good things happening that we feel good about that. Look, we're a giant place with a lot of people, and not all, but I would say the vast majority of the people that work here really give it everything they got every day. And so I just wanted to share that. Lots of things happening. Carly, who you've all met from our department, she and I on a daily, we just took over kind of the leadership of this department about a year ago. And we're really kind of changing a lot of the things we do, but we always want to hear from you. particularly, so some of the information we talked about at the beginning of this meeting about how we're communicating is really helpful. So please feel free to call me anytime. You should always feel free to call me or call Carly, whenever. And I tell families that when I meet them for the first time. I'll hand them my card and say, now through your career, if you have a problem, call us. You know, we want to help. Again, they're our kids. So. With that, if there's questions you have, I'm happy to answer them.
Wow, I mean, what a great way to start to close out the meeting, like hearing all these amazing accolades about our students. Love it, and I have to say, not only are you and Carly phenomenal partners, like literally there's not a time I call, email, text, whatever that looks like, that you all aren't super responsive. So thank you for your support of Parent Council, because you're supporting, again, every entity of this district from a marketing and communications perspective. So we do appreciate it. We know we're small, but you know, mighty, so we appreciate you. I have to echo that in terms of the admin and teachers and staff throughout this district. Since becoming president of Parent Council, I can't tell you how many people call me because they care and they want to get in front of the parents. So a lot of the speakers you see here are people who say, hey, can we come and talk about the work we're doing? Can we come and, you know, let parents know what we're working on and solicit feedback? So it's not the case where we're pulling teeth to get them to come into our meetings and present. They actually want to connect with you all and have you all have a voice in the work that they're doing. So we're super appreciative of all of the connections and relationships we have throughout the district and the amazing team we have overseeing the learning and opportunities available to our children. Speaking of opportunities, even with the social studies program you mentioned, that has already come back to me by, I'm telling you, my third grader, she has all the information. Okay? My high schoolers, I learned nothing. My third grader,
it's not gonna get any better.
My third grader, she comes home with everything. So she has already come home and started to talk about some of these, not necessarily knowing that it was an opportunity for her teacher, but she started to come home and say, hey mom, did you know? And she, what she's sharing is clearly education that she's getting from her teacher, that her teacher was able to experience through this program. So thank you, thank you. If there are any questions for Frank, I'll definitely open it up for parents in the room. Thank you, thank you. We appreciate you. So we'll talk about our next meeting. I have a couple of things just to say out loud, and then I'll give you back some time. Oh my gosh, we may be able to stop and get like a coffee today.
Well, there's coffee and bagels, so
oh, yes,
take them if you didn't get them.
Okay, so let me say that. Please take the coffee and bagels, okay? So do that. So our next meeting is our bond tour. So that has been super popular over the past few years. Parents love seeing all of the amazing work happening in our buildings based on a bond that was approved, what?
2020.
2020, wow, 5 years.
Yeah, we're actually getting closer to the end of it.
Yeah, you know, I have to tell you, when I'm over near the park, because my daughters drive now, so I don't get to go there much, but when I'm over that way, it's so exciting to see the work that's being done, not only creating more space for community ed programs, but just more spaces for our children to enjoy being a part of the district. Is just really exciting. So most of the focus during this tour will be the park, because there have been so many updates happening over there. However, I've already been in contact with our construction managers. They would like to show us a full menu, if you will, of what they've been working on. So if there are any requests, especially at the elementary school level, please feel free to let us know, because I want to say more of the work has happened at the park this particular year.
It has the past.
Okay, so we want to make sure we don't leave out any opportunity to tour work happening at the elementary school level and the middle school as well, because we left out on at Pioneer Middle School last year. So there hasn't been a massive middle school project since Pioneer. But again, if you all have any requests, we would love to take those requests. We're also, again, eating at the Rock Cafe. We will send out communication because we'll need a little bit of a RSVP so that the students can prep the food. And when I tell you, delicious. If they are the chefs and, you know, all of that of the future, we are in great hands from a food perspective, I have to say that. We're also looking at doing something a little extra special. This bond tour, I don't know if we're going to be able to pull it off, but we may be able to pull it off. But actually have it be a ride-along tour where we'll all park and meet at the park, and we'll actually get on one of our school buses and have the construction managers present some things to us on the bus as we go from location to location. So we put that out there. They're super excited about it, but again, there are a few components to make that happen. So just know it may be the case that it's a ride-along. Outside of that, the parent board, I have to thank, you know, this board. They have been extremely supportive. This has been a real transition this year. We haven't had the, what do you call it? Almost everyone that was on the board previously, with the exception of myself, rolled off, and I was new last year. So we've had a lot of learnings. We've had a lot of feedback, and we're working to implement that into the way that we operate as a board. That's inclusive of meeting times. So we're looking at expanding the times that we meet. We're also looking at the way that we are positioned on the website as far as our communication. So we've held off on updating the parent council page because we do want to hear from you and hear, you know, what's missing. What do you need to find when you go on the website and you look under the parent council page? So please expect a survey to come out. We just finalized this morning the fact that we will do a survey. So we'll send out a survey, ask questions of you so that parent council represents what you want to see as parents, and we're just merely here making sure that those things are executed on your behalf. Okay? Do either of my board members have anything that they would like to add? If not, we'll open it up to any final opportunity for parents in the room to add anything, and then we'll close it out. All right, thank you both. Love you, though. Listen, these are my girls. Love you, love you. All righty, any parent in the room have any final thoughts or anything they'd like to share? Well, we appreciate you. I love looking out and seeing your nods and your smiles. It's so warm and affirming. So thank you, thank you.
Let me say one last.
Yes, Frank.
Don't miss the tour.
Oh, I loved it.
Don't miss it.
It's so fun.
It's really, it's just, you know, Monica will say this herself, we're behind other districts in our facility upgrades. And there's a lot of reasons for that. But the bottom line is, you saw the pool last year, you'll see it's completely finished now, they've been using it. Looks great, natatorium. But that whole lobby area that you weren't able to get into because they were still redoing the floor because they had a problem, is all open now. The stadium that you see from Joy Road, but the team room that's connected to Canton, that has the locker rooms and the concession stand and bathrooms that we've never had for our high school parents. You know what I'm talking about. It seems normally you should have those. We have those, and it's beautiful. It looks great. And the thing that we're really excited about that we're just starting construction on is the Innovation Hub, which is where our robotics team will have their gym. The robotics gym will be able to have competitions there. And then that's where we'll be teaching a lot of the upcoming technologies. So you heard Kevin in the video say, we don't know the jobs of the future, but we know the skills kids are going to need, like virtual reality and augmented reality and those kinds of things. That's where all that will happen. And the idea with this particular facility is, on the weekends it'll be open to the public as a place for groupthink kind of ideas and so forth. So it's very cool and very different, and it really is very different than what other districts are doing. That innovation period that some of our fifth grade parents are seeing, our parents that have elementary school students, and particularly our fifth grade parents, I'm going to say why in a second, are seeing is leading to all the opportunity at the high school. And this facility will play a big part in that. The thing I didn't mention, and I apologize, is I know I have some elementary parents. Anyone got a fifth grader? No?
Close.
So, okay, so this is great because by the time your fifth grader gets there, this one. So we just built a partnership with Bosch Corporation.
Oh,
We've
yes.
worked with them for years,
Yeah.
but it just started at the end of February. We have 2 Bosch engineers in every fifth grade innovation classroom. So if you know what you know about the innovation classrooms is they're really giving kids like a real world scenario.
I think
So-
they got kits, didn't they?
Yeah, well, they provided the Lego kits.
Yeah, okay.
But they get a project, not every time in, but they get a project and they're asked to build something and then test it. So now they've got the Bosch engineers working with them on building these things.
That's so
So very cool partnership that we look to expand, but really a leg up for our kids.
very cool.
So, sorry I didn't mention that earlier, I meant to.
No, and that is because
But
I want
don't miss the tour because you're gonna see all this stuff, so.
And that, I want to say the Bosch Corporation has built that into their workforce, correct?
Well,
Yes.
each of their employees has to have so many volunteer hours. So our team went over and did a presentation to their staff at the Plymouth office over here. And, you know, they have to do community service as part of their job. And so they can get that service by working with kids, and we recruited 30-some Bosch engineers so we have 2 in every 5th grade classroom in all 14 of our elementary schools. And I can't tell you exactly, I think they come a couple of times a month, I'm not sure exactly what the schedule is, they may still be working through that. But that just started last month, and that will continue through next school year and beyond, is the idea, so.
Awesome.
You said that's for every 5th grade?
Every 5th grade innovation classroom
class,
at every elementary, yes. And I believe they're at every school, what I've heard is they're at every school. I never say for sure, because it can always be an anomaly, but that's what it's supposed to be, or will be.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you. One other thing I will announce, I've said a few times, contact us. And I looked at the agenda, I was like, wait a second, it doesn't say how to contact us. So you can always send us an email. Our email address is parentcouncil@pccsk12.com. Again, just simply parentcouncil@pccsk12.com. So you can always contact us there. And, you know, even when you see us in the community, I love it. I'm like at Kroger, and I'm like, oh my God, there's Liz. And we start to talk about, you know, parent council things. So that's one thing I think I said in the video that I love about our district is, you know, we're all here, right? Like we don't just work here and drive far to go home. You know, it's not uncommon to see teachers, administrators, students communicating in, you know, very social settings because we all live here and we're invested in the enrichment and just the livelihood of our community. So definitely feel free to email us. And again, if you see us, you know, it's okay. Stop us and talk to us. Alrighty, so if there aren't anything else, I will go ahead and adjourn. We look forward to seeing you all on April 24th at the bond tour. And again, you will see an RSVP come out, and we'll work on making sure it goes to the schools so that it's included in the school newsletter. We're finding that is one of our strongest points of communication, as well as social media. So we'll work with Frank and Carly and team to make sure that as many of you have access to that information as we possibly can. Alrighty, thank you very much. Thank you.